Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Oh gosh, I'm doing and and let's see what's going on wonderful island of Fawnhallow today. My brain just melted there for a second. I was about to do the outro and I was like, what minute? What's going on? But yeah, how are we doing? How are we chilling or relaxing? New Spiral Best and Shield Defense came out. I've just got done with them. Not particularly crazy or any of them. The only thing hard was shield defense. So many of the enemies have ice resistance, so I could not use my Ellen team, and I don't have a good 6th member in my 2 different anomaly teams because I've not built Seth yet. Anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 3:02 PM on Saturday, November 16th, 2024. What else can I talk about? I can talk about that Starro. Akron's banner came out, and honestly, I was just sort of pulling because I was just like, the next person I'm going to pull for is Fugue, and I'm just like, I'm not really sure if I care that much if I get her light cone or not, to be honest. Fugue's light cone, because I was like, I don't know, if Fugue's kit, no leaks, I'm like, some of it's cool, but it's not as cool as I thought it was going to be. It's not like, I don't look at it and be like, wow, this looks super fun, or this is gorgeous or anything, and it's very pretty, of course, but it's more like her animations are pretty, but her light cone is not. It's fine, is what I'd say. It's not like a Rame situation where I saw it and I was like, well, that's like my favourite light cone of the game, or like an Akron situation being like, whoa, that is like my actual favourite light cone of the game. Which is a bit of a shame because, I did very highly anticipate Tingyun, and she's got like an interesting kind of kit, but not like as crazy as I thought it would be. Mainly because her burst doesn't do anything, and I'm just like, what's the point of his burst? Like, the skill you have is kind of cool. But I'm not going to go into that. So I was just putting on Akron's banner because I was like, if I get her, I get her, or whatever. And I was like, okay, let's also try and S5 that Akron Black Swan 4-star light cone. Because I was like, why not? I'm trying to get all my collections up, There's not many the thing is, after Fugue, I don't think there's any other characters which would subject to be released, which I'm all that interested in. The only one would be what's his name? Any member of the 10 Stone Hearts, and I can't remember his name. Screw them. That's it. But that's it. But we're going to a new region, and I don't know. Until I meet them, might not be all that hyped about them. So I was just like, okay, I'll just sort of toss some pulls to Akron's banner, and then lo and behold, I got Akron's light cone in 30 pulls, like less than 30 pulls maybe, and I was like, oh no. I was like, this is not a light cone which is usable on anyone else. Well, let's try and get Akron now. How hard could it be? I'll just dip into my reserves of Star Glitter, I can't remember what it's called, and I lost 250, which is sad, but I was like, I might as well get Akron now. I did the dreadful mistake of actually getting the light cone early compared to her, but I have pulled her. I have no more resources, so we'll sort of just see how to. We'll just sort of send it on Fugue, and if I don't get her, I don't get her. But honestly, I do have a lot of like star like resources to tap into, to be perfectly honest, because I haven't done like most of the simulated universe stuff. I haven't done most of the exploration. So it just takes a bit of time. So yeah, that was the rare L for me for Gacha, like I suppose. Where I was just like, oh, who knew I would get her light cone so early? Anyway, Akron's really fine. I don't regret it because I did want Akron. Like I did initially want to pull her the first time through, but I can't remember those. I can't remember whose banner came out around the same time, and I was like, I have to save up for their banner first, unfortunately. Whose banner was it? I can't even remember now. I don't know. So there was like a huge rush of people who were coming out all at the same time, or soon after, and I was like, I'm sorry, Akron, I can't pull for your banner. So I'm glad I got her now, even if it was quite a few more pulls than I intended. Not like a rapper situation where I just got her like silly quickly. But I mean, getting a light cone's pretty quick. It's pretty crazy because Akron's light cone is one of the biggest jumps in, one of the biggest spikes in damage. But anyway, that's not the point. There's your gaming chat to begin with. But what else should we talk about? There is something I do want to talk about, but I can't talk about it yet because it's a secret from one of my friends. And that's been what's going on recently. I just basically did like this big organisational thing, and that's as vague as I'll keep it. I would say it turns out it's actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be insanely hard, but the hard part is a part which I thought might have been the easier part compared to the part I thought would be the harder part. But I'll be working on that later today. I might need to record some, I don't know, what video series do I need to record? Oh, Talent's Principle. Okay, fair enough. It's because I keep recording it in like one episode bites at once. I'm not recording these. Oh my gosh, there's so many weeds here. But yeah, anyway, what should we talk about? I'm not really sure. Arcane Season 2, Arcane Season 2 Act 2 is out right now. There's a watch party later today, which hopefully I can make it. I'm not actually 100% sure if I'll be able to make it or not. But if it's at the same time, presumably it's at 7:30ish, which should be okay, question mark. But if not, then so be it. I'll just watch it myself slightly offset from everyone else, but I think it's going to be pretty exciting. The first act was pretty great, despite the fact I didn't remember a lot from it. But yeah, what else to sort of talk about? I'm not really sure. Oh, I don't even have any Lily Valleys. I guess I can do my Neopets. Because I normally do that while I play Animal Crossing, but I kind of forgot this morning. What can we chat about? Ow. What's going on at Ash Games? I do want to play more Rivals of FIFA 2 at some point, but then I haven't got around to it. Oh, you know what? We can talk some more gaming knowledge. Gaming news. Rainbow Six Siege. They've released a teaser for the next season. I've not even played much of this season. Who even came out this? Oh, the twin robots came out this season, which I was just like, God, that's actually one of the coolest. I love that concept for Siege. It's like it's basically the way that they got teleportation into Siege while still keeping it within realm of plausibility. And you might disagree with that, and I suppose that's fair, because everyone has different suspensions of disbelief, but at least to me, I'm just like, oh yeah, remote control robots feel plausible enough to me. You might just be like, why doesn't everyone use them? Why doesn't everyone use all the literal gadgets in the game? I don't know, man. You gotta suspend your disbelief somewhat to game mechanics. But anyway, that character, I can't remember what we're called. Scorpos, right? Really cool concept for a character. Haven't played Siege at all, though. Siege has very much sort of died down, I think, within our friend circle, again. For better or for worse, I don't necessarily know. I do like Siege, but it is a bit buggy sometimes. And it does take a lot of learning to get back into, and it takes a time to warm up, and I think it also, like, I think contributing factors, we did lose a lot while playing. Which I'm sure is a bit disheartening, but, because while it's nice to be able to, you know, as I say about, like, with non-competitiveness, be like, oh, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It does feel nice to win as well, you know, while you're having your friends. Playing with your friends, you know, it feels like you're actually working together good as a team. But maybe it'll find its way back again. It's definitely one of those phase-based games, I think, where it's like, it doesn't need to be here the entire time. Anyway, the long and short of it is they're revamping one of their characters, Blackbeard, who for so long has had one of the most troublesome design spaces. What the heck's a Wheel of Celebration? Sorry. I know the Neopets like 25th anniversary is happening, already happened. I don't know, I'll spin it, I'll see what happens. Very cute. But Blackbeard has always fulfilled a very, very troublesome niche in Rainbow Six Siege. It's a game where, we're going to talk game design, I guess. It's a game designed around the fact that headshots in that game are one-shot kills. Like, if you get a headshot in that game, you are immediately dead. There's no way about it. That's why, you know, gunplay is reasonably important, but it also means that, I mean, gunplay is very important in most shooting games, but it's also especially important. It's less important, sorry, is what I mean, in Siege, because it means that you can also, you know, not be as good as playing a gunfight, but because Siege gives you a lot of avenues to be able to go around and get the flank on people, you can actually sort of circumvent gun skills, because at the end of the day, all you need is a headshot. If you flank someone, you can take all the time in the world to line it up, and then you'll be good. But the thing that I was going to say is, Blackbeard, if you don't know, all the characters have like a special ability, And the special ability for Blackbeard is crazy and also sometimes not crazy, because it's crazy good the higher up. It gets better and better the higher up you get until they completely nerfed it. But Blackbeard basically has a shield in front of his gun, which prevents him from being headshot. Now apparently on release it was insanely broken, like it was literally effectively indestructible, which is insane, because nowadays, at least most recent iteration, it basically dies in one bullet. But what it basically means is, watch ad for an extra spin. Sure, I'll watch an ad. You need to watch an ad first. How? Where? Oh, maybe it's because the pop-up is being blocked? Let's see. Manage options. Oh my gosh, all of these consent things. You hate this, like, malicious cookie consent thing where you had to opt out of everything and then you had to confirm your choices? You should make all that illegal as well, to be honest. But all these ways that people are trying to circumvent it. I don't want your cookies that measure and take information for ads. I'm okay with getting ads which are not relevant to what I'm doing. It's not even playing the ad. Anyway, yeah, so his design space is the fact that he's basically immune to being headshot, which basically means he gets an extra life, which is crazy in Siege, because it means that the good players always hit for the head, and in this case, playing against Blackbeard, it's not encouraged, but it's technically better for you to not aim for the head. It's better for you to get body shots on, because then you can get enough body shots in to maybe kill him before he sees you. So it's a bit of a troublesome design space he's in, and recently they released like a teaser basically how they're reworking him, and from what I can tell, they're basically turning him into a shield operator, which is like already exists in the game, except for he can just use his like regular assault rifle gun while doing it, which also seems crazy in its own right. But I guess it's kind of like, interestingly enough, while I was thinking about it, it's like the weird inverse of what the problem is right now. Like now instead of being like immune to headshots while still being able to use his gun, they've completely inverted it. He's now immune to body shots, effectively, meaning you have to get a headshot against him to get him. Which, my initial reaction was like, weird, is that too strong? But then I thought about it more and I'm like, that's actually probably a lot better, like healthier balance-wise, because now the thing they're actively encouraging is you can't make a mistake against him, rather than you have to intentionally make a mistake against him, theoretically, to be able to secure it. At least that's what it looks like. It also looks like he can charge through walls, which is sort of just like the poor Sledge mains out there. Like, like why is Sledge so bad? But yeah, I don't know. Siege definitely seems like a game where some operators just get put in the gutter for ages and then never rebalanced. Cock off, Nook. My darling main, Nook. But yeah, I mean, that kind of happens when you had to also balance for pro scenes, to be honest, because some things are too strong. But you know, I mean, credit where credit is due with League of Legends. At least back in the day, I don't know so much now, I'm not following as much, but they used to at least do a very good job, I feel like, of trying to balance things with pro and not pro. I think it's inevitable that some champions will basically only ever see super niche pro play, but be consistent in like pub lobbies. And then the inverse as well, where it's like ridiculously difficult to play them in a public lobby, but they'll be pretty good in pro play. That's kind of inevitable. Otherwise, like I mean, there has to be design spaces which are filled by those niche things which require coordination, etc., team coordination. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Blackbeard. But I've heard, basically balance-wise and maintenance-wise, Siege has been a bit of a miss the past 2 seasons. But I would say, these seem like cool, like, Sculpus seems like a very cool design space for an operator. And then, whatchamacallit, Blackbeard seems like this could be healthier for the game, or be less less annoyance. I don't really know what's going to happen. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, they inverted his ability, goddamn. Which is technically better, I think. Yeah, basically, like, yeah, if you if you aim well, then effectively he's useless. But if you make a mistake, while that you might get away with mistakes against other operators, you cannot get away with mistakes against Blackbeard. You're done. Which I think interestingly raises some questions about design space for punishing good versus punishing bad behaviour, I think, for games, because I feel like it's a very common design space to be like, oh, we're like, if you have characters with different things like this, one of the characters is going to have an ability which is like, it's going to mitigate a potential mistake which can happen in a game. It can mitigate someone playing pretty well, and every single time I feel like this has come up, or it can mitigate. I'm trying to think how to phrase it. It can mitigate the opponent playing at the best. I think every single time that sort of ability gets introduced to a game, almost every single time it gets nerfed, because it ends up, rather than it being mitigating, rather than feeling like it's mitigating, like from the proactive side of being like, oh, I mitigated a mistake we've made, it always feels like, oh, as the opponent, I'm being punished for playing the best way possible. Like I'm trying to think, like ACNH is a huge one which comes to mind with like the swallow ability he had on his W is a huge get out of jail free card. Same with Fresh as well, except for Fresh is a bit different. At least you can sort of interrupt it, but Tom's you can't really do anything except for kill Tom. But if you don't know, basically Tom's ult used to be on his W, where it was like you had to if like your character was ever caught out of position, they land CC out, you could devour them and you'd swallow them up, and that's basically it. There's nothing the enemy can really do about it. And unsurprisingly, he got reworked to his ult because it's such an impactful ability. It has, well, even then, it's not the same on his ult anymore. Hold on, wait. Maybe he still has that ability. Hold on, what ability does he have? No, his ult is like a transport system. Like, he can't straight up eat people anymore, right? His Q's are tongue, the W's the dive and knock up, the E's the shield, and the R is the sort of teleport, but it's not something which you can really do in combat, right? So, in fact, they completely got rid of it. Because it was just so... I'm not even sure like how strong it necessarily is. It is strong, but I think it's just more so unfun to play against. That people are just like, oh, this sucks, you know? I also completely forgot about the lore wiki's changed. So I need to get rid of the bookmark to the fandom wiki outfit and move it to the new wiki, because the fandom wikis are terrible. Yeah, it's just I guess the argument basically comes, is there a design space for an ability which will punish, or is it good design to have an ability which will punish the opponent for playing well? Because rephrased, it's basically a get out of jail free, like a way to mitigate your own bad play, kind of. I mean, it's hard to lock it in specifically of focusing on mitigating your mistakes compared to punishing their ones. Although I say that, technically you could argue most abilities are sort of about mitigating your own escapes. Like, what is any dash or blink? Oh, it's mitigating your own escape. But I think it's like when it crosses a line into feeling like the optimal play is to play poorly or something, is when it feels bad, right? Because against Blackbeard, the optimal play is to not go for a headshot. Or, well, technically the optimal play is to flank him the same way you with Montagna, but Montagna has a big deficit of the fact he can't shoot or do anything while he's deployed. But Blackbeard can fire back. So any direct confrontation is deadly. And with ACNH, it's sort of like any CC you land on him can instantly be mitigated. It's like an immediate cleanse, kind of. And no cost on his W. Which, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if that's a number one course. Like, I don't know if people have sort of dived into reworks, but I feel like that's maybe one of the highest causes of what feels so punishing and unfun to play against, is when it feels like it's directly countering your good play. I don't know. Just interesting design spaces. Whether there's room for it or not, who knows. But on that note, I'm going to wrap this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been it's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling, and likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope we see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.